Okay, I'll chant and then you tell the story, I'll tell the story. Okay, I won't chant, I'll have our friend chant. This is the hospital story. I have the verse given where
Najayati.
Najayati Deva Kadachana. Next story. We're changing tracks a little. As counselors, we'll be called upon to go visit with people. Sometimes when they're happy, many times when they're not happy. And sometimes it's a matter of life and death, or mostly death. And it could be a glib way to answer, to quote the Gita. But as both Ashwini and I found out, it isn't about just quoting verse and running away. So quote and scoot is not a good strategy and it's impractical. But here's a verse that comes to mind when dealing with the concept of death itself.
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे.
It was not born, it will never die, nor once having been can it cease to be, unborn, eternal, and ever enduring, yet most ancient. The spirit does not die when the body dies. Very classic telling of the shloka of the Gita. So this is many years ago. My son was very small, and he had some thing in the nose that needed to be operated upon, a very minor operation. And so we go to Stanford Hospital. It was a tiny operation. We had to go and get some nitrous oxide and then get something done and come out. So we're waiting, Mom and I. And then this American lady walks up, slightly older than me, not too old. And she looks at me, and like with Gandhiji and those brothers, she looks at this brown Indian man, and she says, "This guy must know something." So she walks up to me and she says, "Are you Indian? Hindu?" I said, "Yes." "Can you read this for me?" I can't finish the story.
Read this.
It's the son, her son.
Her son was dying in the other room. And she wanted me to sing this.
Bhagavad Gita.
You talk.
So she ends up coming to him and asking Gaurav to chant Bhagavad Gita for her son. And
it's not an easy thing to do. Knowing what's going on, you can't give glib answers to someone whose child is dying in the other room. And so I learned my lesson that it's not, philosophically you could say, the body never dies and all the good stuff. But when things are touching this close, you can't just be philosophical about it.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
You tell your story.
yeah. Yes and no. Yes and no. I have seen death also very closely. I have given counseling to, we won't say the word counseling, I don't know what to say, but yes, spiritual counseling. To one of the software engineers who was on the wheelchair when I actually was called with ALS. So advanced stage of ALS where, ALS just pretty much takes life limb by limb, inch by inch. It's very painful death. And for a good 9 months, they had me visiting him. The family hired me and hired Yoga Bharati basically. And I used to visit. And it was a long journey, 9 months. But was that the journey for that person, for the patient, or for me? Was a question that I was constantly asking. How do I go the next visit? Every visit was a beautiful journey for me, taking death as not his but my own journey. So that process of 9 months where we built the rapport, where we talked about various things, and most importantly, not seeing death in the eye and learning to die, because the process was long, but we got a chance to talk about it, we got a chance to prepare for it, we got a chance to finally just until the night when he died, thin and worn out, and all, mind conjures so many things. So one of the I can only talk about one last session I had with him. He would love to wait for me and just talk about his own thoughts, how he's preparing himself for death, or for fighting death. Both of it. He was doing both. And then he says, hey, he was a skeptic, and then he said, I started believing in Sai Baba. I said, wow, that's nice, that's wonderful, bhakti is a great thing. And he says, I know Sai Baba is going to rescue me. The place here where he was, it was a matter of days, and everybody knew around him. Everybody knew. He knew too. But look at the denial of the mind, right? I said, great. Okay, having bhakti is great. But can I ask you a question? He said, yeah, what? Bhakti is not saying, I know Sai Baba is going to bring me out of it. Bhakti is about saying, it's okay if Sai Baba doesn't bring me out of it. So that is real bhakti. Are you going to say that today? He was shocked. He couldn't even talk. Believe me, he couldn't even talk. But we were communicating still. It is amazing how you can communicate. Except one finger, nothing was moving. Nothing, not even throat, nothing, not tongue. And that sense of shock was there. And I said, okay, let's prepare. Now the next session is going to be that. So we deeply relaxed and we went through this journey of death. I said, let's do that. You and I, both of us are going to now work on this. He could hardly breathe, pneumonia. And I said, wait, you know what? I'm going to stop my breath too. I'm going to breathe only as much as you're breathing now, which was very little. It was very hard for me, but we both are going to connect like that. And then we relaxed and relaxed and relaxed, and we let go of all the limbs and everything, and then said, it's okay. Now we are in this endless river of life, and it doesn't matter where it goes because it's not going anywhere. The raging waters, there is this endless river, right? That's where we are. So let's go there. And we traveled through that. And then he opened his eyes, smiled his best smile. And how did you feel? And he said, I went. I said, wow, that was awesome. What happened? What else happened? He was trying to say something. I could not figure out. Then I called his wife, and she knows how to understand him. And she pointed to some of the letters. And he said, Mojo, his dog. And wow, the dog went with him. I said, that is Swargarohana, that Mahabharata talks about. So this kind of journey that we all take and be in it, be empathetic, that's what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. So we started with this actually. When we began our journey for 9 months, we started with that. Najayate mriyate va kadachit. We are not dying, we are not nothing. So we don't talk about death at all. We simply just understand and identify ourselves with life, not death. Birth and death are connected, not life and death. And that journey was a journey for me. That was a huge journey for me. From there, I'm not invincible, but I can pretty much say I'm close. And I thank that process. And I thank that patient, if you will. But to me, he was God. So this is what we can get out of this course. And Bhagavad Gita lets us go there all the way. I'm glad you all have signed up to become these counselors. You will meet such cases and you will grow by giving. You will get so many multifold. You will get it much more than giving. So give. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll take a 10-minute break. We're back at the 5 o'clock mark, and then we will once again play a game. All right, let's take a break. See you shortly. 4 o'clock mark, sorry. This is time shift. Yeah. All right, see you in 10 minutes. It will prop me up, hopefully. All right, we're going to play a game. If you watch TV, you've probably heard of Family Feud. We're going to play Family